"You can wait in the back," the bride's sister said coldly, her manicured hand motioning toward the kitchen like she was speaking to staff. Evelyn Carter froze, in her modest lavender dress, clutching the corsage she had carefully made. For her future daughter-in-law she stood awkwardly, unsure if she had heard it right. Her son Malcolm was marrying into a family that dripped with old money, private schools, country clubs, and whispers behind closed doors. She had known this wouldn't be easy, but nothing had prepared her for this. Malcolm stood just out of earshot, tightening his tie, laughing with groomsmen. Evelyn didn't call out to him. She didn't want to ruin his day, so she nodded, eyes cast downward, and quietly walked toward the back room of the grand estate. Inside, the servants looked surprised to see her, but they offered her a seat and some water. One older housekeeper named Rosa patted her hand gently. "Baby, you don't belong back here," Rosa said. "You're the groom's mother." Evelyn smiled weakly. "I know, but they said I might be more comfortable here." From the moment Malcolm met Claire, he had known her family would be a challenge. Her father, Charles Whitmore, made his fortune in pharmaceuticals. Her mother, Diane, came from generations of Southern aristocracy. Her family tree was displayed like fine art, each ancestor framed in gold and hung on mansion walls. The first time Claire brought Malcolm home, Charles offered him a handshake that lingered too long, as if trying to crush something in his hand. Diane smiled politely but never once called him by name. And Claire's brother, Preston, asked questions like, "So what was your SAT score? And did your school even offer AP classes?" Claire always defended him. She called them out. She told Malcolm she loved him for his mind, his soul, his ambition, and he believed her. He wanted to believe her when she said her family would come around. On the day of the wedding, that illusion shattered. As Evelyn sat in the kitchen, the laughter and music from the ballroom floated through the walls. Rosa stayed by her side, refusing to leave her alone. "Your boy loves you," Rosa whispered, "and one day, they're gonna regret treating you like this." Then Rosa looked up in alarm. "You okay?" Evelyn's lips were trembling. She didn't speak. She just nodded. She was doing her best to keep it together. For Malcolm only learned what happened when Rosa, furious and in tears, found him minutes before the ceremony. "Your mama is in the back room like a housemaid," she said, "because your fiancé's family thinks she ain't good enough for the front row." Everything inside Malcolm went quiet. His smile faded, his chest tightened. He walked away from the ceremony room in silence and found his mother, alone, corsage wilted in her hands. "I'm so sorry, Mama," he said, kneeling beside her. She shook her head. No, baby, this is your day." "No, it's our day," he said. "You raised me, you sacrificed everything, and they don't get to erase that." He helped her up, straightened her dress, and walked her back into the hall, arm in arm, past stunned guests and gasping relatives. The ceremony began late. The officiant nervously started, but all eyes were on Malcolm and Evelyn sitting side by side in the front row. Claire noticed the shift. She saw the tears in Evelyn's eyes, and something changed in her too. As she took her vows, she stumbled, then finally looked into Malcolm's eyes. "Before I say anything else," she said, voice trembling, "I want to apologize. To Evelyn Carter, I should have protected you today." "I'm so sorry," people murmured. Charles's face turned red. Diane shifted in her seat, but Malcolm reached out and squeezed Claire's hand. Maybe there was still hope. After the ceremony, just as people were heading toward the reception, Charles pulled Malcolm aside. "We'll talk later about appearances," Charles muttered, "and family roles. There are certain expectations." Malcolm held up a hand. "I don't think you understand something," he said. "You're not the only one with power in this room." Charles raised an eyebrow. Malcolm reached into his jacket and pulled out a manila folder. "I wasn't going to bring this up today, but since appearances matter so much to you." He opened the folder and handed Charles a document stamped with the seal of a federal agency. A signed licensing agreement. Malcolm had developed an AI patent in graduate school, a machine learning algorithm now used in diagnostics. He had just closed a licensing deal with a health tech firm worth over $900 million. Charles blinked. This is real." "It is, and I didn't want to make a scene today. But if your family ever humiliates my mother again, publicly or privately, you'll find that your net worth won't mean a thing when I decide to speak out." Charles opened his mouth, but no words came out. Malcolm leaned in. "My mother is a queen, and she will be treated as such." That night, Evelyn sat beside Malcolm at the head table. Not in the back, not hidden. Claire toasted her new mother-in-law with genuine tears in her eyes. And Diane, stiff and uncomfortable, offered Evelyn a begrudging handshake which Evelyn accepted with grace. The next morning, a photo from the wedding went viral. It showed Malcolm lifting his mother onto the dance floor, spinning her gently, her face beaming with joy. The caption read, "He made millions, but his greatest pride was the woman who raised him." In the end, the lesson wasn't about money, race, or pride. It was about dignity, and about knowing your worth even when others try to bury it. Malcolm never forgot the humiliation his mother endured that day, but he also never forgot the strength that took her to smile through it all. And from that day forward, he made a vow not just to Claire but to his mother. No matter how high he rose, she would always sit in the front row.